Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. I hope everybody had a wonderful, happy, and prosperous Thanksgiving. And I also hope that everybody here has a happy, wonderful, and prosperous holiday season and new year. The cold weather is starting to move into Las Vegas, and it's time for soups on. So I'm going to be working on a series of soups because when the weather gets cold, I start eating more soups, because the holiday appetite usually puts a few pounds on me, so I got to get back to eating some soups and some veggies and stuff like that. So tonight I'm going to make a soup for you. I'm going to make chicken soup, and I know you're thinking, oh, chicken soup, you know, just chicken, boiled in water. Wait, no. I'm not going to make chicken noodle soup. I'm not going to make chicken and rice soup, but I am going to make chicken soup. Okay, I'm going to make my take on chicken soup. I call it Southwestern style chicken soup, and it's going to be chicken soup with the flavors of the great Southwest. And yes, it will have rice, but it'll have the rice at the end. Okay, it's just a flavorful soup. Okay, it's just a simple soup with lots of flavors, lots of veggies. Okay, it's really easy, and I'm going to make it for you tonight. So let's get going, and I'll see you on the other side. Right. The first order of business to make chicken soup, we need a chicken. So I have one here. Okay, this is a nice 5-pound chicken. You'll notice that I've taken most of the skin off, okay, because there's plenty of fat in the chicken itself. Okay, besides all the fat that comes from the skin, there's plenty of fat in the chicken itself. And a lot of us, when we make chicken soup, we skim off the thick fat the next morning. So I'm just trying to minimize the amount of fat, but I promise you the fat that's in the meat will be enough to flavor this chicken just wonderfully. Now to that, okay, I'm just going to add some fresh, clean water. Usually when I do this, I use bottled water. Believe you me, you do not want to drink the water out of the tap in Las Vegas. Okay, this is 1 gallon of water. It's going to reduce. This is 1 gallon of water in an 8-quart stock pot, okay? Okay, and it's fresh and it's clean water, all right? It's really going to be good, okay? Now, to that, we're going to add some pois or foies, okay, aromatics. Macho cut celery, macho cut onion, macho cut carrot, okay? Mirepoix or mirefoix, depending on the culture where you get it, okay? And to that, we're going to add some peppercorns, okay? About 10, and 1 bay leaf, okay? All I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this mixture up to a boil and then to a simmer for about 2 hours, and then I'm going to take the chicken out, separate the meat from the bone, and move on to the next step of making the best chicken stock you've ever seen. So hang on tight. The liquid has reached a boil, okay, and I'm going to turn it down to a simmer, and I'm going to let it simmer for about 2 hours, maybe 3. The liquid will reduce, okay. See, even though I took all that skin off, there's still plenty of fat for flavor. I'll be skimming off any scum or any foam, but I'm going to let this go for between 2 and 3 hours at a simmer, and then we'll be back to move to the next step. All right, guys, so the chicken and the aromatics have been simmering for 3 hours. I just took the chicken out and strained the vegetables, and this here is the stock, okay? The broth. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the major bones of the carcass back into this broth. Okay, I'm going to add the major bones back into this broth, and I'm going to simmer this broth for about another 1 to 2 hours, and this is going to come up with a really thick, rich, heavy stock that we need for this Southwestern soup. Okay, so we got all the flavor out of the meat of the chicken, along with the aromatics, the pois. Okay, and now I'm going to simmer some bones and get some flavors and nutrients out of the bones. And if you look, you'll see there's quite enough fat right here. See it? There's still plenty of chicken fat for flavor because I skinned all that fat and all that skin off the chicken. And look, even though I took all that skin and all that fat off the bird, look at all that's here for flavor, okay, that I won't have to skim off in the morning once it's cold. So I'm going to let those bones simmer for about 1 to 2 hours, and then we're going to put this soup together. Okay, while the bones are simmering in the initial broth, I'm going to take some fresh onion, green bell pepper, and red bell pepper, and I'm going to saute it in this large skillet on medium-high for about 3 to 5 minutes, just to sweat them down, to bring it down. And then I'm going to add some other ingredients, because this is going to end up in the soup. Just look at those lovely colors. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Okay. A little bit of black pepper, flavor layer. Okay. All right. And I'm going to saute this down until it's just soft, just cooked. And then I'm going to add some garlic and some coriander, cumin, chili powder, and some other ingredients. But I want to soften these veggies down first, about 3 to 5 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so the onions, red and green bells, have sweated down, and I'm going to add some garlic. I'm going to add about 8 cloves of finely minced garlic. And I know that that sounds like a lot, but we're talking about Southwestern flavor here. Okay, we're talking about a gallon of fluid, 5 pounds of chicken. Well, after the carcass has come out, we're talking about 3, maybe 3.5 pounds of chicken, about a gallon of fluid, and some other ingredients. So really, 8 to 10 garlic cloves really isn't that much. Okay, so I'm going to add this garlic, and I'm going to cook this for about 2 minutes to get the garlic to sweat down just a little bit. And then I'm going to add some other spices, Southwestern spices, that'll be really delicious. So hang on tight. Okay, the garlic is cooked in, so now we're going to add some other flavors, okay? We're going to add some cumin, okay? Southwestern for chili. Cumin. Ugh. Love cumin. All on a medium high, okay? And here's an odd one, coriander. Usually used in Indian cooking, but equally as good in Southwestern food. So in goes the coriander. Oh my God, smells good. And here goes chili powder. The smells of the great Southwest. Oh my God. The garlic, the chili powder, the coriander. Oh my God, it smells so good in here. I have new neighbors next door. They're renters. I'm an owner. Go figure. They're renters. They're probably going to be knocking on my door really soon. Here's one. Smoked paprika. Okay? Not so much for the flavor, but for the color that it's going to impart into the soup. But yes, there's going to be some flavor. Smokiness. Southwest smokiness. Oh my God. Get back in there, boys. Alright. Mix that in. A little bit of dried thyme. There we go. Season up these vegetables really, really well with all these lovely aromas. And crush them up a little bit right now. There we go. There we go. There we go. That there is some crushed Mexican oregano bulb. And I'm going to saute these flavors into these veggies for about another 2 or 3 minutes. And then this is going to get added to the soup along with everything else. So hang on tight. Okay guys, so I've strained the bones out of the stock. This is an extremely rich, thick, and heavy stock being made out of the chicken, and then the bones added back into the stock and cooked for a while. Now, I'm going to add the shredded meat that I took off the bones. Okay, that goes right back into the broth. Oh my God. Oh. This is going to be so good, it's ridiculous. All right. So that goes right back in, mixed in. Okay. Now, on top of that, goes the sauteed Southwestern vegetables. The red and green bells with the onion, with the garlic, the cumin, the coriander, the paprika, okay, and everything else I put in it, that goes in. Instead of putting it in raw, a lot of people put these vegetables in raw to cook, and I feel like sauteing them in Southwestern style herbs and spices to bring out their flavor, and I think it does a much better job. Okay, and then I stir that in. Oh. This is looking like a fantastic soup already, but I have to simmer it for about another half an hour, maybe an hour, to reduce this down, okay, because this is going to be fairly thick. Okay, so I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to reduce it to a simmer and reduce it by about 25% because I still have corn, tomato, and beans to go into this Southwestern chicken soup. So hang on tight about another hour. All right, guys, we're back. Now, let me explain. This particular soup requires swapping between 2 different soup pots at least twice, okay, because my standard 5.5 quart Dutch doesn't have the capacity. I have to swap between this 8 quart and the 5.5 quart at least 1 or 2 times, okay. The first time I strain the soup and get the vegetables out, and then I have to put it back here to add the additional ingredients. Now, those additional ingredients to make Southwestern chicken soup are Hatch New Mexico green chilies, okay? Nothing less matters, okay? Hatch New Mexico, the finest green chilies on the planet, okay? So it has to be Hatch. If you can't get Hatch, you could use something of a lesser quality, but it's not going to be the same. Okay, then to that, some diced tomatoes, 1 15-ounce can, or the equivalent of fresh, okay, of diced tomatoes. Okay, and we stir that in there. Okay, like I said, I had to swap between 2 different soup pots. Okay, what I'm using right now is an 8 quart. It's all that'll work. So the tomatoes go in, I stir it up. Okay, now this is toasted corn kernels, fresh corn that I toasted up this morning right off the cob. Okay, threw it in a skillet, no oil, no anything, and just toasted it up. Another great flavor of the great Southwest. Okay, so we're going to throw that in there, and we're going to stir. Delicious, smells so good. And then 2 other ingredients of the great Southwest: white beans and black beans, 1 can of each. You can do fresh, but believe me, there's nothing wrong with using the can. Okay, so here we go. All right. Now, all the ingredients are in. For all intents and purposes, this is Southwestern chicken soup. Okay, but I'm going to let this simmer for about 30 to 60 minutes to cook through the corn, to cook through the beans, to get the flavor of the green chilies in there. And then we're ready for some Southwestern soup for a cold winter night. So hang on tight and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, there it is. Southwestern chicken soup. Now, I'm going to serve this in a minute or two. But before I do, 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Okay? To give the soup a little bit of acid. Okay? And then I'm going to bowl it up on top of some nice brown rice. But for all intents and purposes, look at those lovely colors. Look at those lovely textures. Shredded chicken, roasted corn, okay, pan-seared red pepper, green pepper, garlic, and onion, okay, flavors of the Southwest, cumin, coriander, Mexican oregano, chili powder, okay, a little bit of smoked paprika. Just delicious. Just delicious. Okay, look at that. I'm so looking forward to that. I'm going to bowl up and I'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, so there you have it. My Southwestern chicken soup. A lot of people put toppings on this soup like cilantro, cheese, avocado, tortilla chips. I don't like doing that. I want to taste the soup. I want the soup. I don't want cheese. I don't want cilantro. I don't want tortilla chips, okay? I want to taste the soup. And the soup by itself is just delicious. So I hope you try this recipe. If it's getting cold by you and you make this recipe, I am sure that you will just love it, okay? I want to thank you for stopping by my channel tonight, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. So, I have one here, okay? This is a nice 5-pound chicken. You'll notice that I've taken most of the skin off, okay? Because there's plenty of fat in the chicken itself, okay? Besides all the fat that comes from the skin, there's plenty of fat in the chicken itself. And a lot of us, when we make Southwest, and yes, it will have rice, but it'll have the rice at the end, okay? It's just a flavorful soup, okay? It's just a simple soup with lots of flavors, lots of veggies, okay? It's really easy, and I'm going to make it for you tonight, so let's get going, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, the first order of business to make chicken soup. We need a chicken. Chicken soup, you know, just chicken, boiling water. Wait, no. I'm not going to make chicken noodle soup. I'm not going to make chicken and rice soup, but I am going to make chicken soup, okay? I'm going to make my take on chicken soup. I call it Southwestern style chicken soup, and it's going to be chicken soup with the flavors of the great. Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. I hope everybody had a wonderful, happy, and prosperous Thanksgiving, and I also hope that everybody here has a happy, wonderful, and prosperous holiday season and new year. The cold weather is starting to move into Las Vegas, and it's time for soups on. So I'm going to be working on a series of soups because when the weather gets cold, I start eating more soups because the holiday appetite usually puts a few pounds on me. So I got to get back to eating some soups and some veggies and stuff like that. So tonight I'm going to make a soup for you. I'm going to make chicken soup. And I know you're thinking, oh,